Hey everyone, in this demo I'm going to walk you through a Maya to Substance Painter workflow. We'll model a classic New York style coffee cup, create clean UVs, texture it with smart materials, and then bring it back into Maya for a final render with a Skydome light. Let's get into it. So I'm going to drop down a cylinder with 16 divisions. And let's move the pivot point to the center and then bring up the model so it's in the center of our scene. And then I'm going to try to scale and transform this cylinder. I'm going to grab the points, pull them in here, and just try to shape it. Let's make this translucent and look at it more closely here. And I've already scaled the image to the proper size, so the image is matching the unit size in Maya. I'm just going to blow these caps out. Next, I'm going to add a segment here, my multi-cut tool. I'm now going to extrude this out. I just want to create that lip on the cup. Make this a little bit bigger. You can see the lip is much more rounded, so we're going to have to bevel that. But let's pull this in first and add some more dimension to it. And then we can bring this segment, this loop, a little bit up in Y. Just tweak this up a bit. I'm going to select this face loop here and bevel it. Maybe a 0.4 of a fraction or 0.5 to round it out. Okay, it looks rounded. Next, I'm going to select this segment and extrude it down. So we have the inside of the cup. Let's look at it in the front view and then grab this loop and pull it in. Okay, so that's the inside of the cup. I'm just going to tweak the bottom of it and then close this loop by bridging these segments together. Next, I have to close off this cap here. So I'm going to use the multi-cut tool and add 2 segments. Grab the faces, the face loop here, and blow it away, delete. And then I'm going to tweak these lines slightly bigger. Okay, looks good. Next, let's connect them now. So I'm just going to bridge them together by selecting these segments, bridging them. Let's make a new line here in the middle and connect these segments together. Let's do the same for the inside loop. Select these segments and bridge them together. Take the multi-cut tool to add a segment, and then I'm just going to bridge the rest together. Okay, great. Let's bevel the outside here so it's not perfectly straight. Let's give it a little bit of an edge. Just like a 0.15 of a fraction is fine, just slight. And I'm going to bevel the inside too. That looks good. Let's bevel the inside of this cup too. Add a couple segments. Good. I'm going to bevel this as well, just so everything is slightly rounded. I'm just going to add some more segments. So we have some squares and uniformity. Okay, let's go to UVing now. First, I need to create a planar projection. So I'm going to select the UVs and hit planar. And now I can start cutting. So I'm going to select some loops here that I want to place a cut on. By clicking twice on a segment, I'll get the entire loop. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting on the edges where the geometry is changing and where I want the material to change. So now I'm just making the cut, and now you can see the white lines show up, and that's where my cuts are. Okay, next we have to select the UVs and unfold. And now they're unfolded. Next, I'm going to come down to the Arrange tab here, and I'm going to orient the shells so they are pointing the right way up. I'm just going to rotate these to the correct position because I do want to place that "We are happy to serve you" logo. Okay, so I'm just going to straighten them. I'm just going to make another cut here. I'm going to separate the lip with the cup. And now let's straighten these UVs. I'm just going to bevel this edge to make the lip a bit more rounder. Okay, let's make another cut here so we can split this apart. I'm going to unfold it all, and then I'm going to lay out. And that layout function is amazing. I can click layout and it automatically lays out all my UV shells. And then, I'll arrange them how I want them, and then I'll click on layout again, and then it'll create an even layout for me, which I really like. I'm just doing a mesh preview right now to see what it's going to look like. Let's add a segment here, just so it holds better. Yeah, right there, and that looks good. Let's rename this object now. I forgot to name it, but I am going to duplicate it now and start working with a smoothed out version. So I'm just going to smooth this version out. This looks good. Now I'm ready to put a material on it, and I'm going to name the material cup. And now I'm going to export this mesh as an FBX. Okay, let's open up Substance Painter now and create a new project. Make it a 4K texture project. And I'm going to import my cup FBX and make sure the normal map is OpenGL because that's what Maya uses. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is bake the mesh maps. And that's going to show me my maps here, but you can see actually the lip is not correct. So we're going to have to fix the UVs again in Maya and bring them back. But let's just paint for now, and we can always go back. And this is a good example for working with Maya and Substance, moving back and forth so you can update it. This is the graphic we want to put on the cup. I did the graphic in Photoshop. Now I'm going to bring in the PNG that I made in Photoshop into Substance by dragging it into here and then naming it texture. Next, I'm going to create a new fill layer and bring that texture onto my color channel. And notice that on the materials, there's just the one color channel selected in this layer. So I'm not using anything else. And now I'm just going to size this correctly and make it match. I've also taken off the tiling, so it's just one tile. Let's make a new layer here and just use the color white. I just want to have white in the background and bring it to the background here. So we just have white now, which is good. Next, I need some paper texture. If I just type in paper, I've got a paper smart texture and I can drag it onto my model, and now I have some kind of paper texture here. But you can notice that the UVs are not right on the lip, and so I'm gonna have to go back probably and fix that. So let's do that. I'm going to Maya right now, and I'm going to fix the UVs here. So you can see the UVs here. I thought I would get away with not straightening the lip, but it looks like I'm going to have to straighten it. So I'm going to select this segment here and then sew it together, and then select this segment and cut it. Let's unfold this and then straighten it. Okay, so we're back to what we have. So now let's look at the lip and straighten it. Okay, it's straightened, but you can see the sides are not perfect. So it looks like we might have to unfold along the U and the V separately. Sometimes that works, and it looks like it is working. And now if you hit straighten again, it'll work. So we're good to go. Now I'm just going to lay this out, and good. This looks right, except, oh, there's a little glitch here. So I'm going to just select this one UV and straighten it out. Let's look to see if it's on the other side. It is. So I'll do that. Just gonna tweak these UVs so they're perfectly straight. And I'm just gonna put the squares on just to double check to see if there's anything wrong. Oh, and there is actually, if you look right here. There's something wrong. So let's go and see what's happening here. You can see that this segment is a little wavy. Let's turn off the squares and fix this loop by straightening it. And it looks like there's some cuts in between here. So we're gonna have to sew everything together here properly. I'm going to select all these segments that are white so I can sew them together. And I'm going to sew them, and that's looking a lot better. I can probably now straighten this and everything will fall into order. Yep, much better. Oh, there's one little glitch. So I'll just straighten this one UV. Let's move the pivot over here and transform that UV over and lay out these UVs. And it's looking good. So let's export now. Export the model, the same name exactly, and replace it. And now I can go to File and re-import the mesh inside of Substance, and it'll update the UVs. I'm going to rebake the meshes now, though, because we changed the UVs. We have to rebake the map meshes. And now I'm just going to tweak this a bit. Here I can see all my channels. We're not using any height, but we have normal. We have some deep texture on there. And it is glossy a little bit. I do want some gloss because the original New York We Are Happy to Serve You cup is pretty glossy. But this one is clean. It's like a brand new cup. So that's good. And we have the texture. I'm just tweaking some of this roughness details a little bit too. I think this is good. I'm also moving the Skydome light, and that's how I can see what's happening when light hits it in different directions. I can see how the shine is working and how the normal map is working. so on and so forth. But these smart textures are really good to work with because, you know, if you've got a good model, you can bake those maps in and then use the smart materials and tweak them basically. Okay, I'm just going to export this now. I'm going to, I usually put it in the source images folder inside of the Maya project folder. So I'm going to export the textures with the output template document channels plus normal plus no alpha, but with the ambient inclusion. And then I'm just going to select these channels because I'm not using the other ones. Make sure it's in 4K, and then I'm going to hit export and save the settings. Let's move to Maya. First, I'm just going to make sure the Substance Painter plugin is installed, and it is, and that's why it's showing up in my menu here. I'm just going to bring in my shading network, pull it up, my hypershade network, that is, and then I'm going to select the channels. Sometimes when you select the ambient inclusion channel, it doesn't come up, so I'm going to select it again, and there it is. It'll automatically create a hypershade network. Sometimes if you export the ambient inclusion, it won't actually connect it to our shading network. Let me just rename this quickly. But you can just do it. I'm just going to do it myself. I'm just going to create a multiply divide node and multiply the base with the ambient inclusion and put it into the base color channel. And now I'm just going to assign this material to my model. Another way to do it, if you select your model, you can access it here and you can add that material to your model using your right click on your mouse and finding the material in existing materials. Okay, so let's put a floor down. And I'm just going to create a Skydome and attach a file to the color channel and search for an HDRI that I like. This fog one is pretty cool. Next, let's go into the render settings and change some of these render settings. First, let's change the dimensions to 2K. Next, let's change the system to GPU. I want to use the GPU. And then next, I'm going to change the samples here. Then I'm going to come into the ray tracing area and increase some of these samples as well. Okay, let's hit render and see what we have. The ground is a bit white, so let's make it brown. Okay. It's looking good, but you can see actually that the texture is not placed correctly. It's a little bit too low. The line or that pattern is a little bit too low below the lip, and there's not enough white space at the bottom. So we're going to have to replace our texture in Substance Painter and re-export. But the good news is that everything is hooked up, so going back and forth is very easy now. So in Substance, I'm just going to probably first create a mask for this layer. Just renamed it quickly, but I'm just going to create a mask, black mask, and then I'm going to select the faces in where I want the mask to be. Perfect. And now I can position the graphic where I want it. I'm just going to tweak this a little bit so the graphic is higher and has more white at the bottom, as well as that I want people to see that line where, you know, it's not perfect, almost like someone's, you know, pulled this paper or graphic over the cup, and the line is not seamless. I like that. Okay, let's export our channels here quickly into the same folder, obviously, and we are ready to go. Let's hit render. Good. So this is a lot better now and matches the original. Okay, great. This is my workflow that I use all the time, and I think it works super well. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll include this texture also below if anyone wants to remake this cup. Thanks for watching.